And we are. Wait. Oh, fuck. We're live. Let's do this. We're live. Let's do this. We're live. I'll be right back. welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, now in HD, and I'm here with my partner.
Also in blurry 380p HD. Steve, what's going on?
And
man?
just let it be known that he's my partner in crime and in nothing else.
We are not hetero life partners.
Yes. How are you? I'm living the dream. We kind of got some Marvel news-esque sort of kind of maybe, which I can't wait to cover. And then we've got a bunch of other stuff.
How are you, brother?
I'm living the dream. You know what? I smell like a man who's been working all day. So there you have it.
You and me both, man. The one thing people don't understand is we work before we come on and do this. It's a fucking Monday, bro. We are just
it was Monday, all right. Yeah, it was Monday.
It sounds like someone's got a case of Mondays. Even the meme itself is offensive.
Today was one of the most Mondays that I've ever Mondayed. But that's neither here nor there. We're here in the Fanboy Modeling School where it's nothing but fun all the time. Cheers to you, sir.
Indeed. Cheers to you, brother. A lot of weird stuff. Oh my goodness, Lord gracious!
Oh,
it's Lizzie Lou.
Lizzie Lou walks into our place. How are you, Liz?
Wow, Lizzie! Shout out to you. I see all the great stuff you're doing in your life on Instagram. Really happy for you.
Now, normally I'm not happy for anybody when they look like they're living their best life.
Right.
On social media. I tend to hex them. As you know, I'm half Haitian, so I break out the voodoo doll and everything.
Nothing but bad. I wish nothing but Catholic, paganistic bad on most people. But Lizzie, we're happy for you.
Because a lot of people don't realize this. I'm a PhD.
Right.
A player hating dickhead.
Right.
Team Mizzle says, hi.
Oh, hey, Tim.
Hope the show goes well. Gotta go to work and stuff. I'll listen in every few minutes. Thank you so much, Team Miz. You have a great day. Pony is in here.
Hey, Pony, what's going on?
And we've got Lizzie Lou sending all that love. Thank you so much. So how are you, brother? Tell me.
I'm good, man. I feel like going on a little bit of a rant since we started talking about, stuff.
I would love to hear your rant.
I'm going to say something that's going to offend a great deal of many people, but I'm going to say it just to be offensive.
That's what this show is about. You go for it. Speak your truth.
There's no such thing. Objectively, I want to send my dearest condolences to all my Catholic friends who are living under the regime of this new pope. Must be hard.
and this was really our last episode.
It must be hard living under this new pope, right? It's really weird when you set a man up as the precipice. So you got God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit making the Holy Trinity, and then you got the Pope who gets to declare what's right according to those three.
Right.
I'm sorry. I just had to take a shot at the Catholics, man. Y'all going through it right now. Y'all going through it.
Wait, was there something that motivated this? Am I
because you said you were Haitian and you were talking about hexes, and I was like, oh, what is another contradictory?
Right. And a shout out to my family out in Haiti. It's getting nuts over there. It's getting real.
It's getting nuts, man. I had a little hope for Haiti because the people. And I'm not blaming the people at all, right? The people were standing up against the gangs and stuff like that, man. And it's bad, man. Shout out to the people in Haiti, for real, for real.
You live in a real country when gangbangers come and do a commando-style raid on a prison and are able to release thousands of prisoners.
Bro, when did gangbangers, or I guess gangbangers in America aren't that organized, but they appear to be that organized. Like, they ain't breaking nobody out of prison. Or is it just that the industrial system that we know as the prison system in America, it's like, we dare you. We dare you, no aiming correctly MFers, to come up. That's right, folks. You noticed I said MFers. Me and Mantis are officially on our censored, but still fallacious and salacious topic grind right now.
And you know what's funny? We seem like we're a pussy country. A lot of people think that. You go to anywhere in the Caribbean.
Well, I was on it, and apparently Mantis just jumped shit right now.
No. But I'm gonna say that's an illusion. We are the best at shooting at people. Basically, our federal police are basically an army. They have access to all sorts of stuff. And so it's because of the federal government that, like, you cannot break people out of prisons the way they do in Mexico or Haiti. Or
no, you get gunned down, man.
Gunned down. A tank will land on your house. Like,
yo, here's something that I did today that was completely odd and sadomasochist, right, man? So my schedule today, I was scheduled to work at 12 to 8. So I get up, do the dad thing, make lunches for my kids and everything, and they're out the house by 8 o'clock. And then I go back to sleep. I go on my couch, and I now have to figure out what I'm going to watch on TV because I can't sleep without
going back to sleep is definitely a dad move.
It's a real dad move. I can't go back to sleep without some ambient sound. So I decided to put on YouTube and watch the I guess the Senate hearings in regard to the FBI. And I just got to say something for all my woke revolutionaries. People are starting to understand. Black people, brown people, poor white people have been saying that the FBI has been corrupt for years. It's amazing to me now that every conservative is on board with that.
Yo, you know where you done fucked up, right? You done fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right? It was when they went after a rich white man.
Right.
Shout out to you, Donald Trump. That's when people said, you know what? These motherfuckers might be corrupt. Right. We should reform this.
They might have too much power. Shout out to J. Edgar Hoover, man.
Right. Yo, oh my God, the stories I heard about it back in the golden days of the feds. They used to frame people left and right.
That was that good corruption. Was that good corruption. You know what? I was talking to a coworker today, man. Shout out to my coworker. And I told him as we were talking about, we were just getting into a conversation about political discourse. I was like, we need a good old-fashioned villain in power, like a true American patriot villain. We need another Dick Cheney. You can say a lot of things about Dick Cheney, but the one thing you can't say was he didn't have a response for 9/11.
Oh,
Dick Cheney was like, oh, really? Oh, Iran, all these places. Dick Cheney was ready to get buck, as they say in Florida, man. He was ready to get buck on these fools, man. And we just don't have that, man. But I have to say this, man. My first honorable mention is I'm not voting this year.
You're not voting. You're not voting.
Well, I'm going to vote, but my vote isn't going to count.
Well, because you live in New York State, where
I'm voting for a independent candidate who I'm not going to name, because at this point, man, what are my choices, right? So my ethics dictate that I vote for a moralistic leader.
Right. I absolutely feel you, and so I'm voting for an independent as well. His name's Donald Trump, and I want to give a shout out. I want to piggyback on your honorable mention. I want to give a shout out to Trump. Now, we're not going to let this stream descend into super political, Trump rally or something like that. But here's what I am giving the shout out for, and so, Here's what happened today. It was unanimous. The Supreme Court was unanimous to say that Trump has to be led on every ballot. And what it is we are in such a fractionalized thing where people are clearly violating the law. They're dismantling democracy. They're doing whatever so their side wins. And thank God that we have these Supreme Court justices, that they did what was right by the law and not by their party.
So that's a huge portion. That's a huge part right there. What's right by the law.
Right. And I think unanimous is good. It is a sign that it's crazy that people like, the Colorado woman or these people
say
who
it
are trying to take
it again, because people in the back aren't going to hear you.
Right.
Was it split? Was it a divided vote, or was it unanimous?
It was unanimous. Both sides, Democrats,
liberal and conservatives.
All said that it is bad for democracy when you bar people from legally being on it, especially when they have not been convicted of any crime.
Right. We're going there tonight, folks. We're going there tonight. Right. Another honorable mention I have for you, man. Talked about this real quick. Let's get into the business side of everything. Riz Radio Live 365, right? Make sure you're tapping in Monday through Sunday all week long. We have amazing content over there for you. Independent radio bringing you the sounds you need that you didn't know you wanted. I delved deep into the Joe Budden situation. Joe Budden is by far, so it's Joe Rogan in my estimation, and then there's Joe Budden. Joe Rogan is leading by a vast majority, right? You can blame that on white privilege or whatever you want to say, but Joe Budden is the most Joe Rogan is the most successful podcaster, period. Right after him is Joe Budden. He is dominating this space, right? You cannot. So what
you're saying is we should change our names to Joe.
Yes, the Joes are winning.
The Joes will win.
But Joe Budden said something, man, that I've been on the campaign for, and I've been accused of being sexist. I've been accused of being misogynistic, and the people accusing me of this can't even spell these words, right? So whether or not their claim is true, if you can't spell it, I'm not even going to legitimize your claim. Joe Budden came out and put all these, how far are we into the stream? Okay, I can say it. Put all these bum bitch rappers on notice, man. And he did it in such an eloquent way, man. You and your message, your carefully curated body, and your presentation.
right.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. People are not interested in that. Now, there are many different parts of this argument, Mantis, that we can get into. We've talked about this ad nauseum here on Fanboy Modeling School, and you do yourself a discredit. You're always saying that, like, you know more about hip-hop than I do, but no, you grew up in the same era as I did. Here's the thing, man. This new generation, I just sounded like Sully's dad. This new generation.
The bottoms with these kids these days.
These bum-ass female rappers have outlived their usefulness. Now, you can take that in many different directions. If you're a black nationalist, you can say that the machine has finally failed itself and this false image of femininity is coming to an end. Or you can look at it as a hip-hop head, such as myself, where talentless people should not be praised. Now, whether it's hip-hop or any other genre, if you lack the talent, you should be in the back of the classroom, right?
So, because I was gonna say this isn't hood decay. This isn't like coming out of the black community. It's all communities. If you look at other genres of music, there's a lot of basically. Here's what I think. I honestly think Christian contemporary and country music are having a renaissance right now, but everyone else is making bullshit ass music, and their women are super sexualized. Everything sounds the same. It's totally repetitive. They have the same like 5 or 6 celebrities featured on everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I can't turn Doja Cat off because if I'm not listening to her on a hip hop station, you could go to a pop station and somehow Dua Lipa is featuring her.
Well, no, you've gotten that wrong entirely. You can't turn Doja Cat off because she's a whore.
And that's what the corporation is selling.
She's gonna find a way. She's gonna work with you, and she's gonna build with you right where you are.
She said, I'm gonna work with you. We're gonna find a solution to this turning me off shit. Yo, in the chat, I want to give a shout out to my man Shaolin Iceboxer.
Hey.
DT Dubs in his house.
DT up in the house.
Usagi taught me, giving the hashtag fangirls for fanboys. Love it. Lizzie Lou still showing us the love. Laney O is in here.
Oh, Laney.
No, I'm a little peeved at Laney. The other day I sent her a cat video on Instagram. No response. Played me for a chump.
As she should not respond to it. Fuck those cat videos, man.
Of course, we got Dragon Lady, we got Pony, and all the love from all you guys. Thank you so much for coming here to the Fanboy Modeling School. Remember to like the live, subscribe, and tell your friends all about us. We're doing honorable mentions right now, and we were just talking about the horrification of hip-hop.
Yo, here's the thing, man. I've had this conversation so many times, man. I've had it in so many different facets, and people have made great arguments in defense of these bum-ass bitches in rap, right? And I just actually, before we get there, I want to get back to the Christian contemporary thing, man. So I'm going to say something right now. Say it, but I'm only saying it as Steve. I'm not saying it as a representative. Well, I'm going to say this, Steve, and I know that people agree with this, man. The problem with a lot of Christian medium, hip hop, movie, music, or whatever, it's bad. Right? It's like
So here's why I think it's going through a renaissance. Because there used to be a time that I could turn on the Christian station and I could not bear it. Now I turn it on, I'm like, this is all right. Feel me?
Bro,
Feel me?
hear me out, man. Deep roots black gospel music has always been amazing, right? You just got to be willing to like sit through being convicted, right? For the non-believing group, convicted means that you hear something in the song that makes you feel a level, not guilt, but a level of, man, I'm messing up right now. I'm messing up bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's conviction. That's conviction, right?
Yeah. Yo, did you see Beef, by the way? Did you see the series Beef?
Pause.
My man, that's the name of the show. It's called Beef.
Pause. Call it pause on that one. Call it pause.
No, but I feel you. There's a part where, he's beefing with this chick. It's about, it's the two Koreans and they're battling it out and they're doing horrible things to one another. And he goes into a church and they're singing and he just starts crying. And it was like, I feel you, bro. I've been there.
I have something that's akin to that. There is anyone right now, if you go type in the term "it is well with my soul," you'll find a plethora of different Bethel artists that perform it. Bethel is a church. We're not going to go into it, but there is one with an emaciated young white woman with, I believe, red hair, and she's singing "It Is Well with My Soul." Now, if I have the lore of the song correct, the song originally was made from a man who lost his entire family. Mantis, I've really condensed that really quick. He lost his entire family in a short span of time, and he wrote a song called "It Is Well with My Soul." This young woman that sings at a Bethel performance, it is the best version of this song I've ever heard, outside of a black experience of gospel music. But outside of that, I can only name 3 people in Christian music genre that I really enjoy that isn't your traditional R&B or rhythmic singers. It's Sho Baraka, Trip Lee, and a young man that has dreadlocks that goes to Joe Button all the time. D Love or D Lee or some shit. No, D Lee. Outside of that, man, I'm not really messing with a lot of Christian music, man.
So I'm gonna be straight up right now, and I'm actually gonna give credit where credit is due. So when we were on Audiolus, I actually took it upon myself to not only scan and constantly listen to our own station, but I would actually go to the other stations too. And so I check out our Christian ones, and I found that the gospel, great station, Christian contemporary, great station, and I even started liking Rhymes, which was the Christian rap. And so, and like I said, there was
Cap. I think what you were experiencing was guilt.
What I'm saying is there would have been a time back in the day that I would not have been able to stomach such music. So I'm counting that as a win for Jesus.
Cap.
You said cap. Lanius is not me. Yo, I'm telling you. Don't make me dig through my phone. But I'm sure I sent you a cat thing. I was like, Laney, even though not a cat lover, will love this cat. And, I got no love. So,
are you ready for me to jump all the way out the window in an honorable mention? Are you ready for that?
Oh, I'm ready. You haven't already jumped out of the window by attacking all Catholics?
No, I'm ready to jump full out the window because I'm speaking as a parent right now. As a parent. So whatever paradigm you are going to judge us by, that's your problem, right? I'm telling you about the situation I had to deal with today. I woke up to make my kids lunch as per usual. I am a black man raising 3 brown boys in my home.
And let me tell you, I love every one of my nephews.
Yeah,
these kids are rambunctious.
Yeah,
these are rambunctious.
That is a very nice way of saying I live in a frat house. These dudes come downstairs and it's like, whoa, 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 bow, bow, bow.
Yeah, they're like climbing on the ceilings with their hands and stuff. What's going on?
My eldest and I are watching the new Avatar: The Last Airbender live action on Netflix. He is going through somewhat of a early, and I'm glad he's being exposed to it, canon change, right? They've changed some things, but he being such a huge fan of The Last Airbender. He loves Korra. He loves that season, but he really enjoys The Last Airbender with Aang. Very minute thing, man. Here's the problem people don't understand about nerddom, right? We're watching an episode today that's about a town called Omisha. I forget the name. It's a combination of two names made into one and a star-crossed lover situation. That's right.
I remember it from the cartoon.
I'm going there early. So two people from two warring factions who are in love with each other. They find a way to be in love with each other in these mountains, and they are the first earth benders, right? They learn earth bending from these huge moles like that teach them
the mole people, right?
Right? No, not mole people, just straight up moles, right? But here's the thing that is really important. One was a guy, one was a girl. In the animated series from the original canon on Nickelodeon, by the way. For some reason on Netflix, they changed that small, minute thing from guy, girl to girl, girl. And my son went into a complete paradoxical shift. He's like, why do they keep saying girl, girl? He's like, and he's citing the canon to me. He's like, no, it was a guy and a girl. This was the guy's name. This is the girl's name. At 8 a.m, I had to have a conversation with my son about this.
About
it was
this, yes.
Very upsetting. Very upsetting in the sense where, let me head you off at the pass, you liberal fucks. The conversation was upsetting for my son. He's dealing with things in a very different way as a child than I'm dealing with it. He's like, why did they change it to two girls? I don't understand. I'm a parent, and now I have to explain to him the complexity of sexuality.
No,
the complexity of sexuality at 8 a.m. Because he's like, I don't understand why are they saying two girls? It was the guy is this one, the girl's this one. Your thought?
So I think we've given a lot of we've given a lot of warnings about things when we're going to say something scandalous or possibly.
I'm not giving any warnings.
Right.
I'm going to give you the real.
No, so what I'm saying is
the real. I'm a parent. It's not about the inconvenience of it.
Yeah.
My child was troubled by it. He's like, what is happening right now?
And I think here's why the pendulum is starting to swing the other way around. Because originally it was about acceptance, and almost everyone, and I know they're going to be like, oh, there's all these homophobes out there. Yeah, there's some homophobes. Most people, even Republicans, whatever you want to say about different people, they were accepting of people because these, the LGBT community they were our brothers, they were our sisters, they were our cousins. We know
right.
They were even our parents and stuff like that. And so we were all accepting. But then it crossed this line where it was, instead of being tolerant and loving each other, became about the education of what it is.
Right.
And dare I use the word indoctrination of children. And the idea is they're like, well, why can't I express that? Why can't I show that to little kids? For starters, I don't show kids any type of sexuality. I don't show my kids. I don't show little kids. Movies where people are making out in the first place.
Let me go a little bit deeper because I agree with your point, man. One, I don't expose my kids to any sexuality, as you just stated.
Right.
But bro, it's my right as a parent to normalize things for my child. Now, me having an issue with it on a geeks and gamer level, right? You dig where I'm going? Yeah. That's one thing. Watching my child try to work through these things, that's another thing, man. He's fucking 8, bro. He's 8.
Yes.
He's 8 years old. I don't want to explain the complexities of these things. And the argument becomes, well, your child should become accepting at a young age. You don't get to determine that.
But like I said, it's not that he's not accepting, but why does he have to see the sexuality part of it?
No. I appreciate what you're doing right now. Here's the thing, right? At 8 years old, the one thing that my son should be dealing with is life. right?
Yeah, life.
He should be dealing with life, man. We raise him under the garb of human beings are human beings covered under the grace of God. That's what we raise my son under. I'm like, yo, you don't denigrate anyone. You don't bully anyone.
Absolutely.
But to have this conversation with him before I explain reproductive systems to him is absolutely insane.
I absolutely agree. And by the way, real quick, I'm sorry to like slightly change the subject, but we're not going to stay long. So in Lainey's defense, but she's still a bad person. It wasn't a cat meme. It was a Transformers meme. I sent her a Transformers meme. No answer, no reply. I thought you loved me, Lainey. Okay, I see how it is. But getting back to the issue. So I totally feel you, man. I understand that if I had been a parent, I would not be happy with this situation either, because you know what it is? It's also one thing if you see it here and there, but it is literally all over the place. It saturates literally every form of entertainment.
Canonically, it made no sense. There was no rhyme or reason to do it, man. And remember, did I say that it was at like 8 a.m? Did I say that part?
Right, 8 a.m. Yeah.
Like 8 a.m. My brain is not even working properly, man. And I had to explain it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was furious. I hit our group chat and I'm just like, why? Now, let me deal with some obvious points, right? I thought about this all day as any normal parent would. You and I are two black men, right? We're two black men. We understand the strife and struggle of our people groups according to the American context, right? Let me deal with the woke part first, right? So some people might say, hey, man, this is similar to our struggle. This is similar to when people accuse things of being the black agenda. And then I would respond to that with saying, well, what people accuse of being the black agenda was actually a normalization of not lynching black people in America.
I'm gonna straight up and say there was never a black agenda the way there is a different type of agenda nowadays, and I'm not gonna use those words, but
wait, can you deal with that for a second, right? Like, so are we being fact driven? Are we being data driven? The quote unquote black agenda coming out of post Jim Crow era,
right, was simply not being lynched. Was I guess if you want to call that an agenda, you know, I just think
what was the agenda like? Hey, don't lynch us, right?
Right. And so the reason why I don't think it's an agenda, and I'll tell you why, is that I think when we use the word derogatorily, we're talking about how it saturates everything. And if you actually look at the media back in the day, it didn't saturate. There were plenty of shows that didn't even talk about these situations. There were people marching on Selma, and then you could turn on whatever, Leave It to Beaver, and it certainly wouldn't be touching that show. Right? Well, but nowadays, you cannot turn on anything. You're not allowed to turn on anything that doesn't have this subject matter in it.
And I just want to understand creatively, what was the point? What was the goal? Like,
it's all DEI stuff. It's literally all it's all this diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff. And as we know, that adds no. You know, I hate it because I know I'm a flip flopper when it comes to diversity, because there are times I do be like, I wish the show was more diverse. Example is Friends. I can't watch Friends. It's too white. It's too white.
Yeah, here's the thing. But I cannot watch Friends and just watch living single.
Living single.
I'm okay with that. But here's my real main issue, right? And oh my gosh, here's the crazy thing, man. I told myself today that this honorable mention would end at the point where we got to that segment where we're like, okay, it's just because of insanity. I have to really say this out loud, man. There's no reason for me and my son to discuss at 8 years old, any level of sexuality, whether it be promiscuity, anything.
Right.
Period, point blank. Netflix, on the other hand, and this is my fault as a parent, I didn't vet it. I didn't go ahead and watch the show. They decided to do this, and it makes no sense because this show is his first canon. Now let's deal with that.
Oh, did he not watch the original cartoon?
No, he watched it. That's his first canon.
Oh, right.
This is what he loves, man. Like, he literally, it's between this and Five Nights at Freddy, which is problematic. And I didn't understand how
people our age cannot understand that series or even that game. I played the game. I don't get how it got so many sequels. Like,
bro, I'm like, yo, this is a kid's game. This shit is about murder. It's about
like a child molester gets forced into a bear costume and becomes a ghost mummy thing. Like, what?
I'm like, this is Nightmare on Elm Street. But besides that, man, it's between Five Nights and Freddy and Avatar. This is a show that he stumbled upon on his own. I didn't introduce him to it. And it's like it's his canon, man. He loves this shit. And he was so taken aback. He's like, why do they keep saying girl? So I had to normalize it and not normalize that, but I had to like basically be like, wait, hold on. I know you're upset. They're not, he's upset because they're not sticking to the canon. He's like, why do they keep saying girls? Like, he literally kept saying that to me. He's like, why do they keep saying girls?
And that's another thing. You can't explain to him why there's an agenda. You can't explain to him that there is an agenda. You can't be like, the reason why they swapped it is because it doesn't make any sense to it.
I don't want to, like, it's just wild, man. It's just wild. I will say this in defense of the Avatar series, man. Production wise, it's really good. It's really good. But we're going to get into that later on. If you're a parent, drop a flame in the chat, man. Is anyone expecting to fucking have these type of conversations with their 8-year-old at 8 in the morning?
D comes in. She says, I came in at the right time. Hi, Mantis. Hi, Steve. Dragon Lady says, hey, D. Everyone's giving her the love. Lady says, well, shit, I do, though. D says, good, glad this Monday is over and I get to enjoy some fanboy modeling school. Absolutely, that's where we're at. And she's throwing up those flames. This is a tough issue. This is bothering a lot of people, but this is what people are fighting against. You know, when you look at all these videos from the parent-teacher conferences, and they're trying to get certain books thrown out of certain libraries, and they're like, this isn't appropriate for kids, and stuff like that. These are the fights that parents are having, and we have to, like, work hard to protect our kids. And, you know, before anyone breaks out the word erasure, we're not erasing anybody. I do not believe in erasing anybody.
Naming anyone.
I'm not trying to destroy anyone, pretend people don't exist, or violate anybody's rights. We're not trying to or do any of this crazy stuff that all us cis people are being accused of.
Bro, stop. Can we do a deep dive in the etymology of the word cis? Yo, I literally almost threw up the other day when someone called me a cis male, and I was like, I'm like, yo, can you tell me where that term originated? And they were like, well, it's basically been common knowledge. Now, this is them.
Right. I'm
putting the blame on them. And then they said it's been basic knowledge for about 1,000 years or so. And I'm like, what? 1,000 years? What are you talking about?
I bet you anything you were older than them, right?
By 25 years.
And the quick way you can shut them down, or nothing shoots them down, even facts don't shoot them down. But you can simply be like, well, when I was a kid, no one ever used that word.
No one used
that word. So it's not even 20
years
years old.
Bro, I don't even think it's 10 years old. But go ahead, man.
So it is supposedly a Latin word. It's a Latin word that is simply the opposite of trans, right? But straight up, it is a slur. I believe it to be a slur. I've preached that it was a slur for many years. Out of nowhere, Elon Musk must be watching Fanboy Modeling School because he declares that it's a slur on Twitter. Thank God. But the reason why it's a slur is it's never used in a good way.
It's not even.
They're never like, look at this cis guy. You go, bro. It's always accusatory, and it's always to put you down. Look at this cis male.
I originally thought the term meant systemic. Like,
I can see how you made that because, I'm just saying these leftists, they be making words up.
There's the word. There's the word. At any rate, I just want to throw that out there, man. I just wanted to put that out there, man. That was a troubling time in the Hold Up TV.
Oh man, I'm
household.
sorry you had to go through that. I mean,
fuck it, man. Let's get right to it. What's our main top? Oh, do you have any honorable mentions? What's going on there?
No. We're in it to win it, so let's do this. Let's see what Daddy Fatsack has in his bag of tricks.
Daddy Fatsack.
Yes, one of my many names. Okay, we've got what do we have here? Oh, you just did your Airbender thing. Well, as long as we're on a similar topic, why don't we do Joe Rogan and Katt Williams?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, in case you don't know, Katt Williams was on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp, right? And one of the statements he made was that I will never be on, or something similar to it. I won't be on Joe Rogan because he has his own comedy clique that he's trying to promote. Joe Rogan responded to the infamous Club Shay Shay interview with Shannon Sharp and Katt Williams, saying that I would love to have Katt Williams on. And Katt Williams did not disappoint in going on, man. And all right, it's early, but we got to get into it, man.
We're already on it.
Remember, we're reporting on what has been stated. You fucking psychopaths. We're reporting on that.
Do we want to skip to the video, or we want to hear what this young man has to
Yeah,
say?
let it roll. I enjoy this guy.
Well, it was only a matter of time, but that boy Katt Williams dropped in on Joe Rogan, bro. Hey, Joe said, hey, you ain't about to get all that. You ain't about to get all that, bro. You gotta bring some of that Katt Williams.
This guy's mad Southern.
So,
Mad Southern.
They seem
Or
to be
Midwestern.
shutting the internet down already.
Diesel.
It's been out for hours, 3 million views. So
numbers.
And I seen it this morning too. I was watching, or I went on a run this morning. I listened to about like damn near an hour of it, and that makes me think of something else, bro. Because if y'all, for those of y'all,
real quick, it looks like Usagi Tommy once says, "Wait, was that all the Avatar talk?" Yo, before we keep going on with this guy, will you give us a quick review? Are you able to first detach your feelings about what happened this morning from the show and give a really quick review of it?
So, episode 1. Okay, let me take a deep breath. Episode 1, when they showed the massacre at the Air Temple, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. This is almost Order 6, like 66 level.
Right.
I'm enjoying the show, man, but it's just like they took unnecessary creative turns. That part sucks really bad. It does, man, because there's no reason to do what they did. All right, so on top of the word I can't pronounce, the Oshimusha, whatever the fuck it is, that's supposed to be a
Shaolin,
moment.
how do you pronounce that? Let us know.
That's supposed to be a moment between Aang and Korra. Aang and Korra are experiencing some very adolescent tension and their attraction to each other in regards to this like very distinct Romeo and Juliet type situation. In fact, at one point, they're trying to figure out how to get out, and it's when we first get a real hint that they are attracted to each other. They might have to kiss to get out of this maze. The show on the other side decided to combine a bunch of episodes into one, and they put her in a tension situation with her brother. It was fucking weird, bro. It was weird. It was weird. It's unnecessary bullshit. It's weird. It's
I'm weirded out just hearing about it.
It's just the weirdest lazy writing, and it pissed me off. It's like, of all the shit you can cut out of the show, we want to see Aang and fucking whatever her fucking name is. We want to see them together and building up into it. Yeah, no, it's spelling it out like that, Bex.
So
Mantis. is not going to be able to say that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to say that. Do you recommend it? Should I take a moment?
I do recommend it in this sense, man. If you love the medium, if you love the content, or the conception of the show, watch it because you're a fan of that. That's why I'm watching it with my son. We're watching it because we love Avatar. Yeah,
I'll tell you, I already had this event you had. Although once
it's
again,
way better than the movie. It's way better than that fucking movie.
It pretty much would have to be. But I already had the event you went through. Although being a childless man, I obviously didn't have it with a kid. But so they adapted the short story novel of horror stories, North American Lake Monsters, into a show for Hulu called Monsterland a couple years ago. And
I know that show.
And there's a really great episode. Well, here's what it is. The short story is called The Good Husband. Right. And the story is that his wife is turning into a zombie and he doesn't want it to happen. So as he realizes, as long as he keeps her focused and awake, she doesn't keep transforming. So he locks her up in the basement and he's doing everything to hang on to her and not let her become a zombie.
As he should.
And then when it was adapted into a Hulu show, they called it The Good Wife, and they turned them into lesbian lovers. And instead of a good husband watching out for his wife, it's two married lesbians. And so I didn't hate the episode, but I certainly was like, why was that necessary?
Yeah, listen to me right now, man.
Why can't there be a good husband?
American Horror Stories, man, right? We all know the lore and legend behind Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Well, no. We all know the concept of Bloody Mary.
The concept, yeah, that's right. That's a better way of phrasing that.
I'm sorry. For my woke revolutionary people, Bloody Mary has nothing to do with black people. In fact, it's a very Eurocentric idea and concept.
Right.
But for no apparent fucking reason,
they turned it into a black story, right? Yes, I remember that.
I don't understand who is in the room, who decides these things, man. Do you understand what I'm saying, bro?
Absolutely. And here's what it is: it's probably a DEI executive who has to overlook stuff, and he's watching people come up with an idea, and he's like, you know what? One of these stories, you got to make it black.
Right.
And another story, you got to make it gay. What's it going to be, guys? And they have to figure out, and they're like, I guess we can make Bloody Mary about slaves. Right?
Like, absolutely madness. It's absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because it's true. You're true. That episode of Bloody Mary, it didn't have to be black.
Bro,
it really could be anything.
Here's the thing about the Avatar thing, man. Oh my goodness, man. There was absolutely no reason to make these star-crossed lovers two women. Unless that was what you wanted to present to people. And this is why I give you so much smoke about the Black Cyclops thing, man. Why? Why does this need to happen? There's no logical reason, especially with an established lore, man. People are connected to these characters, man. Cyclops. What?
I just feel like I like Cyclops more.
That's your first fucking problem. You feel. You see what you said? I feel. Bro, no one gives a fuck about your feelings. I mean, I care about your feelings, bro. But
no, I know people don't care about my feelings.
No one cares about your feelings. There was no reason to do this. And on top of that, man, anyone claiming to be an Avatar fan, they literally condensed, remixed, and edited 4 episodes of necessary context for what was the 4th or 5th episode, bro. It's fucking outrageous.
G says Aang is still too small. He's like 12 and she's 16 or something. Yeah. Watch it, Mantis. It's a good time.
Oh, Katara.
Yeah,
not
Katara.
He's literally, I think he's like 2 years younger than Katara. But this was like a key moment in them being attracted to each other. And you turned it into this? Wait, play the Southern nigger, man. Let's get on. Play the Southern nigger.
Who saw this entire podcast or certain parts of it, bro. Like the beginning of this conversation was things that are right down my alley that and they address so many things that I would love to discuss on the platform, but it's such a shift from the type of damn content that I be posting here on the channel, man. So if you know, bro. But they're talking about the pyramids and the Anunnaki and religion.
Oh wow,
Those
I
are
need to watch this
things
episode.
that me and my girl
Yeah.
talk about all the goddamn time. We're always learning up on just the many wonders of this world, bro. If you seen what they were talking about, if you would like me to introduce some of that on the platform as well, discuss it, talk about it, hey, let me know and we will do it. But yeah, I didn't get the opportunity to watch the whole video, and come to find out that Katt Williams out here trying to get canceled again. But he don't give a I saw a few seconds of it and I saw the direction he's going, and I'm just here to bear witness to Katt. The one that gets
He is the man. I mean, absolutely.
No, absolutely. And shout out to Katt Williams
Spot to do
for,
that
I don't know if
at.
what he's saying is
Sure
the
that
truth,
goddamn
but shout out
Rogan
to him.
podcast. Before we dive in though, like always, shop the merch, shop StevenKnight.com. Anytime
We don't
The
need to
story
oh,
and
wait.
just
shop Stephen Knight and Williams.
what becomes accessible. That's how you can generally see where things are going, you know? And so that's the true magicalness of Elon Musk. You know, is take that guy out of the story and just tell that story, and
Yeah. Yeah, he's moving us into.
I haven't even tapped in. I don't know the context of the conversation. I solely got a timestamp, bro. But what he just said was crazy. It was real. All these things.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is
Cat
doing
Williams in general is.
in the big picture.
It seems like he's always high or
See
something,
all
right?
the things he's responsible for, all the inventions and technologies he's developed in such a
And
short
also,
amount of
for the
time.
record, you guys all know that I'm, I go on and on about the show, The Atlanta. There's an episode called Florida Man, and it's where Cat Williams guest
It's
stars.
amazing.
Yes, as his
I've seen
uncle.
these episodes. He's amazing on that show, man.
Yeah.
He's like, if that bitch got kidnapped.
Yes, right. And I feel like everyone has like an uncle like that, some crazy ass uncle. I love at the end he gives him the gold plated gun. He's like,
Yeah.
hide this from
Yes. Absolutely amazing, man.
He's great, man. He's great.
time. This whole Neuralink thing, having these satellites
Okay. Get the
around the
cat.
globe to give us access all over the
This
place.
guy, this motherfucker seems high.
Electric cars.
No,
you know the crazy thing, he's not
so many
high,
different
man, but
directions all at the same time. The electric car thing.
wait, what were you saying?
he's not high, but this is one of the few episodes where he's critiquing something where he's not an objection to the subject matter. And I think that's what
That's
happens.
his normal steez. He objects, but right now he's like he wants to be in part of the
he's
conversation.
he's in agreement with Katt Williams. And here's the thing, man. And sorry, we're gonna get into some podcast critiquing, right? One of the things I love about doing fanboy is we just give the smoke to everyone, right? We
Yeah.
give the smoke to everyone. Between the two of us, man. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Objectively,
You will get
Your
roasted,
person-
no matter who you are.
your personal truth, that shit they told you in kindergarten when they lied to you, you're wrong, bro.
Remember,
You're
guys,
wrong.
this is a show that even the Pope could not get saved from being roasted by Steve earlier. So
You're wrong, man. And Katt Williams going on to Joe Rogan actually deals with a couple of issues. So when he went on the Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp, a lot of people would have assumed that he would never go on to Joe Rogan if the invite was extended. Katt Williams is apparently that dude. He showed up and talked his shit. And he actually spoke to a lot of things that Joe Rogan is wildly interested in. So Joe Rogan is a aliens type of guy like yourself.
right.
And he spoke to some of these things, man. And so here's the thing you might not understand, man. A lot of black people grew up under a wildly socially conservative worldview.
Yes.
You would assume a lot of things, but you would be incorrect in assuming these things, right? And Katt Williams laid these things out during this. So continue.
I'll tell you this real quick. This is a little tidbit. So, we currently don't have a pastor at my church. My female pastor, she ended her tenure.
You never
She
had a
went away.
pastor. You never had a pastor.
And we have to hire a new one, and we're in the middle of looking for a new one. And so there's a group of us who are on the committee to find new ones, and we're a little more conservative. Our church is very liberal, but we're looking for something a little more conservative. And the consensus, even though it's a majority white church, is we need to get a black pastor because he is going to tell it how it is, and he's going to be a true defender of Christianity.
Wait, can you say what conservative means? Because I think there's something we need to deal with in regards to our woke friends, right?
Yeah, and I'm
What
talking
does
about
the term
religiously conservative.
mean? So in your context, it means conservative and adhering to strictly the
Bible.
views of our religious belief, right?
Yes. And so basically, we want an end to the progressive Christianity, which has been creeping more and more up, where people are like, I have thoughts and feelings about things. And we're like, well, what does the Bible tell you? Like, I don't know. I haven't read it.
Wait. You don't even go that deep, right? So let's say you're a spiritualist, right? Let's say you're someone that believes in astronomy. There is a form of that which is conservative, where you adhere to a strictly sola scriptura version of whatever that shit is, man. We would adhere to the core principles of being someone that's an astrologist. I guess that's the active term. And people really get hung up on the term conservative, but it actually just means like, I believe in the core principles.
Right. Yes.
Nothing else. Catholics.
Yeah, that's a good separation, because you're right. Like, I was not talking about politically conservative. I'm talking about religiously conservative. We want someone to remind us their sin. We want us to remind that Jesus is the only way. Boom.
And if you're a spiritualist, you want someone to remind you of the fact that the crystals have to be bought on the third day of whenever the fuck.
Shamalaka down. Well, is Lainey still in the chat? Because she could tell us about the crystals.
Internet satellite thing, and now this Neuralink thing.
Fuck those rocks, man.
Because all of these things are connected in
I'll be right back.
higher upper echelon conversations. I'm saying you see the same conversation.
What is this dude talking about?
With Tesla or Da Vinci or like information.
Is Elon the new Da Vinci?
Is limited.
I would love a "Make Femininity Great Again" shirt. I wonder, you should get it. You should wear it on your show.
To know how certain things are going to hit certain people. And
Dragon Lady says, I love Cat Williams and Dave Chappelle. Love them both.
We call things promotion. And
I volunteer to lead the flock.
You know what I mean? That's... Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. Like, that's great that happens. But propaganda is something that is important to all civilization.
Oh, he's pointing it out.
Well, propaganda in Hollywood.
Wait, what I missed?
Oh my God! Yeah. You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Watch this.
Before we called things promotion and marketing. You know what I mean? That's Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. Like, that's great that happens, but propaganda is something that is important to all civilization.
Oh my God!
Well, propaganda in Hollywood movies is built into.
Do you mean to pause it?
No.
Ingredients list. It's like, if you want flour, you need wheat. You're gonna have to get the wheat, and if you want to be able to make movies about certain subjects, you have to be willing to work with some people. That, it'd be nice if you made it so that this is what we're trying to accomplish, and this is showing the negative side of this other society, and this is and this is our hero. This is our hero who's going to go do America's bidding and go over there, and you're like, okay. And those movies are successful, and so they continue this relationship,
Right.
and you become a bit of a propaganda arm for the government.
Yeah.
And in turn, they don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
But here's the great conspiracy that I don't understand. I don't understand it, Steve. You need to talk to me about this.
Right.
Why? Where does it come from? Who profits from it? Because no one's profiting from it. Where does the wokeness get involved? When did wokeness get injected into Hollywood? And why? To what end do they get out of us by turning us into beta passive bitches?
Wait, so you have to ask me this question 3 times, just like Handyman, before I jump out the window. So here's the deal, right, man? So no one wants to be on the wrong side of history, right? And especially if being considered on the wrong side of history doesn't lead you to a profit. Remember, we're talking about the industry of film in Hollywood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now it is extremely hot to be on the right side of history to represent what people consider to be quote unquote wokeness, right? Again, I will say this and will always say this. When the term woke originated, in my estimation, when I was exposed to it, was to be merely socially and consciously and politically aware of things that could be detrimental to you as a black man.
Yes,
it was black woman.
Specifically about blackness. Staying woke meant that you had to be aware of all the things that were holding you down. And the conspiracies that were out there to manipulate your mind, control you, hold you down.
What you just said is pivotal. All things, not geared towards one thing. You had to be aware of all things.
And you got to stay awake, basically. The idea is you stay awake, you will stay alert, you look around, right?
Of these things, right?
And it was absolutely black. It was definitively black. And
100%. What it has become is, and this is the fault of black people, it's the fault of hyper liberal, guilty white people. Wokeness has become a thing where it's like, I don't know who I'm shooting at, but I know I need to deal with this issue.
Right.
What Katt Williams and Joe Rogan are going to go on to and talk about, there are some things aren't wokeness. It's just common facts, right? And you are not woke for campaigning for a certain issue, because in actuality, you're not taking into consideration the issue itself. I spend a lot of time, man, and I'm always worried about saying this type of shit out loud, man. I spend a lot of time in black revolutionary spaces on YouTube, X, Facebooks, all these spaces, right? Because I grew up in a militant context. In case you didn't know that about me, I grew up in a very militant.
I don't know that about you, man. I have known you long enough.
Not you. I'm telling the audience.
Okay.
I grew up in a very black militant.
Because you were talking about the revolution when we were young, man.
I grew up in a very black militant context, and what I see now, comparatively, is just a lot of drivel. When it comes to this very topic about being woke and why it's profitable, well, the industry sees that that's what we're looking for. It's amazing to me, and it blows my freaking mind that the same people who can subscribe to a thought process that there is a literal man that is suppressing and holding down, right, a community, can't see the jokes that wokeness being widely accepted is the same man that they're worried about. Hear me out. There was a movie that came out by Lee Butler, or whatever his fucking name is. He made that show with Jussie Smollett.
Yeah.
Juicy Smollett.
Empire.
Empire. That shit, the very reason it was released is anti-wokeness in the traditional sense. I'm going to placate you by appearing to seem that I am appeasing and agreeing with your statements. He also made a movie called The Butler, which took some creative historical license. There's a scene with Richard Nixon, right? The premise of the movie is that this butler has lived through multiple presidencies. And this one butler, when he's living during Richard Nixon's time, he literally says, let's invest into black business. But in their investing into black business, they are the investors, so they are the controllers, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the adaptation of wokeness. To answer your question, the reason that people do what they do in representation now, in my estimation, is because they're just simply like, well, this is what's making us money. If we pretend to be woke, we're going to make it a low dollar off it. But they don't actually care about the cause at all. And so many of you sheeple jump on board with this and you support these things, not realizing that, okay, here's a for instance. The rumor is that your girl Brie Larson is out as Miss Marvel, which is probably very true, right?
We'll probably never see her again.
We'll probably never see her again.
Good riddance.
Hopefully.
Right.
But maybe Brie Larson actually believed the things that she believed, but the studio didn't. They pretended to, and it's like, well, this didn't work out monetarily.
Oh, at the end of the day, when they're losing money, they'll fire you for whatever. You know what I mean? They'll
fire you for your political standpoints, right? And that's my point, right? You're pretending to be woke, and I think a lot of people pretend to be woke on a day-to-day basis. But here's the deal: they don't care about any of these activist points. This is just what they think is trending the needle. Does that make sense? You understand?
Yeah, no, it does. And so, an example of what you mean by pretending to be woke, not pretending to be woke because she hasn't gone full-fledged, but you know about the whole Sydney Sweeney thing?
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
So she's in from Euphoria, white girl, big tits. She ended up in Madam Web. She's one of those poor girls, and I feel bad for any actress who ended up in that movie. But so, here's the whole thing. She acts like she's woke in public and on Twitter and all these things. And then somebody pulled out a picture of her and her family, and she's not wearing one, but several of her family members are wearing MAGA hats.
Yeah.
And
wait. Here's the thing: go ahead, continue.
But she pretended that she was like, "That's my family. It has nothing to do with me," and all this stuff. And I was like, "Oh, she's fake woke."
But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing people don't understand about being woke. You remember the criteria, the definition, which I laid out. Be aware of it. How can you not say a MAGA? Now, I'm so ready for this, man. If the criteria is to be aware of false information, false establishments, false imprisonment, and false indoctrination, right? That's just my statement there. Wouldn't most of these fucking QAnon motherfuckers qualify as woke under that definition?
That is a crazy leap, but it's not an insane leap.
No.
It's not an insane leap.
We're going poli-sci here. If you went to a college of worth and merit where you were taught to just contextually criticize things,
right?
The definition you laid out, does your opposition meet that same standard? Most of these fucking way out fucking KKK white nationalist motherfuckers, they could literally on paper meet the same criteria of motherfuckers claiming to be woke. If you just put the definition there and they're like, well, yeah, that sounds right to me. Whatever, man.
No, that was well done. That was well done because I didn't think about it. But yeah, that's wow. That's because you know what it is. It's true. People at the simultaneous. This is why they're fucking it up. They don't know how to do woke. At the same time of saying they're being woke, they listen to the man. They listen to directives and orders. Yes. They're not actually conscious of anything.
No, they're not conscious of anything because in actuality, most people are sheeple, and I hate that term, man. But
yeah,
let KATT speak on it, man.
Right, but that's what makes information so powerful. Is you don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about does following the ritual work. Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I was like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. And everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is.
Hey, that's a
So
bar.
20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that
pattern.
things are secular.
So well said, but
I
from
understood
Cat, man.
that the
Bars!
earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of
Just real
Baphomet,
quick.
the transgender,
I was gonna say it.
to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
So, you guys, for those who don't know, when he's talking about Baphomet. Baphomet is the demon image that's is the statue and is part of the Satanic Church, and it is both male and female. It's always been known to be to not have gender.
Right.
Oh, he's going in
It
deep.
said
He's going in real
both
deep.
of those things, so I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future, and that somehow calling people the goat would be normalized.
Because guys, remember, Baphomet has a goat head.
Greatest of all time, the acronym, man.
Oh my
And here's
god!
the thing about Cat Williams, man. There could be a lot of cap. I've heard this commentary on him and like a lot of cap in the things he says. But if you subscribe to even a broke clock can be right 2 times a day, man, I would leave the research to you. Are the things he's saying refutable? Is he speaking in error? Don't put it on me and Mantis. You disagree? You find the fucking research.
Bring it back to us. We'll debate you. We'll let you on the show too. Dragon Lady says Cat Williams for president 2024. I mean, save us, give us a better thing. Because remember, I want to point out that I'm voting for probably the T-Man, but it is in rebellion to the other side.
I want to say I'm voting for Charleston White, but Charleston White is obviously this year's he's a shock jock. What is this old man's name? He's an old black guy. He was in the Matrix. He made the great line of following orders is not a prerequisite. Understanding is not.
God.
Oh my goodness.
I know who you're talking about. Oh my God. Yes, the dude with the hair.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know if he even made it through the independence.
Right.
It's a rebellion vote, man, because I'm looking for a candidate of moralistic standing, and that's just not Trump, and it's definitely not Biden. So I'm fucked. I'm fucked, literally.
Yeah, you're pretty fucked. Because I'm merely voting. I'm voting against the party that tried to shut down democracy in the first place by trying to have their enemies. They weaponize courts to try to take him out and to silence him. That's what they do in Russia, man. Russia stops political opponents from running.
100%, man. And what it is they always expose. And they being, I guess, the liberals in this sense, they expose the faults in the system that my people group grew up under, man. It's like, this shit is so corrupt. You tried to keep a candidate out by breaking the law. And that's what they did. Yeah. Literally. They literally, by trying to remove him from the ballot, they tried to break the law.
Yeah, no, it's totally it's effed up, man. It's effed up. So I'm basically casting my vote against
that. AOC is not a big booty Latina. Right?
You know what? This bothers me because clearly this dude has never seen a big booty before because she's actually a pretty slender Latina.
Was it the dress? Was it?
I don't even think so, man. I'm like, that does not constitute a big
man, so I don't have to answer this question. Would you tap AOC? Political beliefs aside.
Well, I mean, of course. Am I the only one who doesn't engage in discernment or something? Because, like, I mean, of course I would. But there's further questions you have to ask yourself. Like, if you were to be like, would you pretend to be a liberal to tap it? The answer is absolutely not. I will go home alone.
Wow. That
Yeah.
now that if you're not a guy, that is really truth right there, man.
Yeah.
Good shit. Good shit. I'm
And here's
proud
what I'm
of
saying. I will pretend to be a liberal to tap a lot of ass,
but
not AOC's.
Is it because of the Fat Boy Slim on the Roof album shit she did when she was in college? Is that why?
No, in general, just because here's what I'm saying. To take her home, you'd have to listen to her mouth. And she goes on and on about shit.
Right.
I want no part in that, man. I don't want to hear that.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
Since he is sending us a what
Cap.
is that?
He's saying you're capping. He's saying you're lying. That
Is that a cap?
you
don't look like a cap.
Get that ass. You wouldn't lie to get that ass. That's what he's saying.
Yo, Cincy, I didn't know you were into AOC like that. But no, honestly, I will go home and I will beat it before I have to deal with AOC, okay?
You might think it's funny, but I beats my meat like it's always been money.
But I'm saying, if I don't have to listen to her mouth, sign me up. Let's see if Katt Williams has any more wisdom for us.
He does. This is actually a really good clip, and it gets into some very contentious, controversial.
Bruh, that was dense as fuck, but
It was dense.
funny as hell, bro.
Come on,
He
is he gonna
gotta
do this?
kiss
What's he doing?
the transgender
He doesn't go back to
demon
Katt.
asshole.
No, it's his commentary
I
because
don't even know
you
what it
can't
is.
have the shit he said
Both
on
of
there
that
unless you're like
is
Joe
a
Rogan.
transgender demon, and he was hip on game 2 decades ago, and that's how he knew transgenders was gonna be popping eventually. Bro, that sounds like a hold on, come on. You gonna have me deep diving in this shit you talking about, Cat? Baphomet?
I don't need to have him look up Baphomet for us.
Shout out to this dude, man. Shout out to him.
No, he is good. He's good shit. I'm gonna drop that like. I'm gonna drop that like button. Wish
Big
everyone.
arms. I don't want no smoke with this motherfucker.
He's
Katt Williams doing the tour, man, staying consistent in regards to these topics. Do you have a problem with Katt Williams, man? Because he also believes in a lot of Egyptology type stuff, right?
so.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did I say Egyptology? That's an actual study in science. I believe Katt Williams subscribes to Black Egyptians mythology.
yeah. I like you said mythology because that's what it is. And no offense to any of our listeners who are into that. If that's your thing, that's just not my thing. And so, however, I'm not gonna. Here's what it is. I do not hate on anyone for their personal beliefs. That's his thing.
Right.
More power to you.
Right.
I'm just saying, blacks were not here before Native Americans or whites. All right? They just weren't. I will debate him.
Wait. But I read on Google the tectonic plate shifts that America was connected to, but Asia is actually Africa. What are you saying?
I'm just saying they need to get their book learning on because they're missing out on some shit. What else is going on in the world? Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
So did you have an academics thing you want to show us about F-57?
Yes. Run it. Run that shit. You play the video because like even me quantifying it. So in case you don't know, Meek Mill finds himself in the worst part of the conversation, whether it being on internet or otherwise. Meek Mill has been accused of the ultimate pause. Are you ready for this before we play the video? Why do we say pause? Does that mean we hate homosexual males?
No, of course
Right? We say pause because whatever we said identifies us as something that we are not, right? Or we assume that it is, right? It's like you say something and like, yo, I love eating hot dogs. It's like, wait, pause. But it's not an attack against homosexuals. Meek Mill finds himself in the ultimate pause situation where he didn't even say anything. He was caught up in some shit. So we all know that Puffy is marred in controversy right now. The accusations are coming. People are suing in civil suits left and right, right? And a recent producer accused Meek Mill, Puff Daddy, I want to say Usher as well, allegedly, of accosting him or being some part of it's craziness, right?
Yeah. So, I need to say something. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack out there. So I don't understand why Meek Mills is constantly in the conversation, because I do not think that he reps hard enough to constantly be put in conversation. People try to compare him to other.
Philly? What do you have against Philly? I've noticed
It's not a real city. It's not a real city. Okay, so they have the Liberty Bell. Okay, they got that. They got that one artifact. But in terms
they have
of
Love Park. They have Love Park. I skated Love Park. Shout out to Philly, man.
It's just not. It's whateversville, man. It's whateversville. So here's what I'm saying: Boston, New York, L.A.
Fuck Boston.
Sure, definitely fuck them because they're Boston. But I'm saying that's a real city. That's a real city. LA's a real city. San Fran's a real city.
Right.
New York's a real city. Miami and Orlando are both real cities.
Right.
But Philly,
my guy, so of all those places you picked, do you understand that Philly is the place that would chop your head off like clear? So that's on the hood side.
I will honestly, however, I will be real with you. The only time I've ever been to Philly, the few times I've been to, is driving past it, and then we've stopped off to get a Philly cheesesteak and then continued. So I've never chilled in Philly, and I want that to be known.
Chilled in Philly before, and I don't give it too much props, right? I've chilled in Philly 7 times exactly.
Okay.
On a personal level, I've worked in Philadelphia 4 times. And I guess I would agree with some of your sentiment, but I understand that people are very, very, they're protective of their city, man, or their area. Now, Philadelphia itself had a good time. Went to a couple of raves, had some Philly cheesesteaks, hung out with some people. That was back in the day. In my adult years, didn't do any of that stuff. I was with a client, and I could only get out once to get a haircut.
Right.
Which the motherfucker canceled on me.
There's Philly for you. They're cancelers. They don't show up to work. That's Philadelphia for you, man.
Since he wanted to point out that where was Sensei's comment right here? In regards to Black people not being in America and replacing Native Americans, they were here before Christians, though. Not historically accurate, but I'm sure
it is one day. One day I would like to have Cincy Star on the show to talk about this stuff. But because it's messed up that I have a mic and he doesn't have a mic, right?
Right.
But I would say, love you, brother, but nope. Nope. that does not jive. And so if you have evidence,
what you have to do is you have to allow, since you slow up before you start commenting. What is the claim you're making exactly, so we can make sure we're responding to it accurately? Who was not here in America? What claim is you're making? We'll respond. Okay, but continue. So we got academics talking about the Meek Mill situation with Puff Daddy. Yo, Mantis, this shit, I covered it on Mic Check, man, but it's so dense. While I was covering it, because I didn't want to re-record it, I realized for legal reasons, there are a lot of accusations being made against multiple people. Now, shout out to DJ Academics, man, because he actually sat down and broke down the actual affidavit from the actual civil suit that's being claimed by this producer, which seems to be attacking multiple people. Now, Puff Daddy is in his fall of grace stage right now.
He's in the middle of a bad situation.
So Puff Daddy may or may not have had Usher stay at his house when he was an adolescent.
Yeah.
And just some people were saying Justin Bieber and Meek Mill was like, what is your take on this whole thing?
So I am utterly disgusted by this idea because it's been generational, quote unquote.
Wait, hold up. NY ninjas are always trying to down other cities, and it's weird. No, not trying to down. Straight down.
Yeah, we're straight up down.
Straight down.
I will put Pitt, New
Straight
York
down.
City versus
Straight down.
Philly any day of the week.
You niggas are fucking pit stops.
Yeah. We only stop off in your city to get a Philly cheese. Yeah.
Your pit stop at best.
Since he says not making the claim, they were here before the indigenous people, though. So we will talk about this, Cincy. I'm not trying to dismiss you or anything, but we will talk about this because
who was here before the indigenous people? What are we talking about? Exactly?
He's saying Africans.
Oh,
No, may or may not. Usher was. Here's what I'm saying. Why does a rapper or an R&B singer need to be apprenticed where he's a medieval knight? Where someone's like, he'll be my squire. He'll live in my house. He'll give me bubble baths and back rubs. Like, why the fuck does a kid need to do that to learn how to sing? Does it make any sense? So basically, the chain, and here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I was there or I know anything, but it would appear that Puff Daddy molested Usher. Usher molested Bieber. Who knows who Bieber is currently molesting? And I'm saying, why does this have to happen?
Bro, you left out all the allegedly.
Well, there's too many to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking about one chain.
I don't know if you know this about me, man, but I've been in the proximity of the people who actually do the grunt work for these people, man. In regards to Bieber, a lot of people are claiming cap on this. So Usher is widely known, or hopefully widely known, for exposing Bieber to the world. Pause. Not exposing him in a sexual way.
Yo, oh my God. I didn't even think about it like that. When you said
Pause.
it.
But here's what people are reacting to. Usher lived with Puffy at the advent or at some point in his career.
As a child.
He didn't. No, not as a child. Like at the advent of his career, right? He didn't fucking drink Jesus juice. He wasn't playing on trains. Puffy wasn't wearing like a fucking elf outfit running around the house.
Oh, how do you know? Were you there? You weren't there.
You could be right. You could be right. You could be right. You could be right, man. I think Puffy's guilty of a lot of things. And he could be very well guilty of this. But more than likely, the one thing he's possibly guilty of, allegedly, is killing Tupac. And as we start getting into these weird, so I always have a cock brow for civil cases versus legal cases. Let's talk about the statute of limitation, right? What is the statute of limitation on murder or conspiracy for murder?
I think none.
Exactly.
I think it's like one crime that
exactly
forever.
So when we get into the place of civil suits, that's just me. It's my predisposition to be like, why are you taking the civil case? Why not take it to a level of criminal case?
Well, obviously, and that's what I have to say about people who make these civil case issues. They take it to civil court because they don't actually want justice; they want money.
Yeah. I'm not hating on you for it. I just want you to know.
I'm hating on them for it. You know what I'm saying? There are here's what I'm saying. And you know what's funny? Mantis is notorious for saying, I don't mess with people. I don't knock their hustle. Everyone has a different hustle. Who am I to fuck with them? Blah, blah, blah. If you are one of those people who are like, I'm going to sue everyone, I'm knocking your hustle. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And so there are a million scams out of the world. Yo, I would rather you selling drugs in your ice cream truck.
Wow.
Than finding excuses to sue people. That's the lowest of the low.
Wait. Before we go any deeper into that, let's sidebar. Do you feel, as a New York dude, do you shit on other places? Do you ever just be like, yo, fuck this place, I'm from New York? Or do you visit these places?
No, I visit. And all the places I just announced that I thought were cool, I visited. I check them out. They're cool. Like, there's places I don't need to go to that I know just suck, like Cleveland or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, Like for instance, I love the city of Charlottesville, but if I were to compare them to New York, I mean, come on, right? So, yeah, I don't randomly shit on it. And you know what? You know what? Usagi is feeling. What it is New York is so awesome that oftentimes New Yorkers have shit to talk because we're so cool.
Yeah, when you get to a city and you realize the train system only goes 4 stops, I'm like, what the savage?
Or the trains end at midnight, yet the bars stay open till 2, and you're like, wait, what? There's no train? You gotta calculate on all that stuff. You know what I mean?
You know, that was a very well thought out position. I appreciate you. Getting back to Puffy, Meek Mill, DJ Academics, play the video. I'm gonna go pee, but I really want you to listen to what's going on here.
Okay, but I'm just gonna say it like this: just like there's no reason to expose 8-year-olds to any questioning of their sexuality or their feelings or anything, there is no reason for young men to live in the house of older rappers.
No, I gotta raise him up. I gotta teach him. Pause.
We can do that on the weekend. Anyway, let's see what's going on here.
Okay, all right. So if you're waiting for a Rihanna album, it won't come anytime soon. Hey, why did 50 post this shit right here? This is classic. This is hilarious. And this is why I don't like the selective politicking, man.
Good night, Dragon.
Oh, did he delete it already? Oh, he deleted it already. I should have caught it. 50 has something up here. 50 is a comedian. He be deleting this shit fast, though. Oh, did he delete it? Yeah, I guess so.
It's not bullying. And for starters, Usagi,
If we go on Twitter, it's probably going to be on Twitter.
we live for bullying. We're not one of those soft motherfuckers who are like, we don't bully here. We're anti-bullying. Only bitches are anti-bullying.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Fanboy Modeling
Where's
School
that?
reserves the right to bully you for any
This is
reason.
said post. This is
I was
jokes.
like, why
I'm
is this
sorry.
nigga not playing the
Oh,
video?
you got the
Wait,
video,
pause.
though.
I am. He's taking his sweet time getting
You gotta
there.
have the video.
Pause it,
Where's
pause
the
it. Let me see
video?
what Bex wrote.
So she said, but dragging in the city while you rap yours is just straight up bully behavior. And so I love it how people nowadays, because of like the softness of the last half generation, they're
Right,
like, you're bullying me. Good. I am bullying you, bitch.
Get better.
Yeah, get better.
Yo, but here's the thing, man. If you're coming out of the black context or the brown context in a very tribal system, right? Black people and brown people share something in distinction, which is in Africa, Nigerians make fun of people from other regions, right? Like they drag them for not being from Nigeria. In an American context, I have to shit on Boston. You guys lack one essential thing: your bars and at 2 a.m. Motherfuckers been drinking since 8 p.m.
Wow. You're saying truth bombs right now.
No. Hear me out. If you go to a city where there's no train, yeah, that's an underdeveloped city. You lack. You are lacking. You are lacking on a very societal level, bro.
So I'll tell you what's up. So I used to after college was doing a men's club of playing rugby. So we're out of college. We have no reason to, but we're gonna play rugby. And then what we're gonna do is we have an away game once a year in Buffalo.
Horrible place.
Horrible place. And absolutely horrible place. And we take a bus up there. And the team takes us to their local bar. And you know what their local bar is?
What?
It's a dude's porch.
Yeah.
It's like one of those. Yeah, he's selling beers on his porch, and that's where they take us. And
Bruv, here's the thing people don't understand, man. We do it to each other even in New York. You remember before we left for my wedding, when I was living in New Rochelle, and I brought you guys up there, and you were like, yo, we want to go to a bar. And I'm like, don't waste your time, my nigga. Don't waste your time.
Right.
There's nothing. There's an Irish bar, and there's a ghetto bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're both ghetto, prospectively.
Right.
Y'all opted to go to the ghetto bar, and I warned you, motherfuckers. It's a horrible time. And what did you find going there?
Nothing but lost dreams. We were searching for lost dreams that entire weekend, as I recall. But you know, like I was saying, basically the point is, so now having had that experience in Buffalo, is it not all right for me to compare that shitty bar experience with every great bar experience I've had in New York? Because at New York, at any hour, you can go to a cool bar.
Bro,
I don't need to be on someone's porch.
No one's above reproach, man. If your local bars end at 1 a.m., your city sucks.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear about your fucking house parties or whatever you got going on in your trap houses. If I can't go get a sandwich at my leisure at 2 a.m., your city sucks.
That's another thing. You're right. You should be able to be drinking all night and then afterwards go get a sandwich or a slice of pizza.
If I can't do whatever I want in your city sucks, bro. It fucking sucks. It does, bro.
If there can't be a family coming home from a Disney vacation and I'm drunk and I can't just piss all over the street while they're walking into their house trying to jiggle their keys and get in there quick, then your city sucks.
Bro, if I can't fucking get a simple combination of eggs, cheese, and bacon in the morning, your fucking city sucks.
4:30 in the morning, right?
4:30 in the morning.
And that's what I said. By the way, New York bars close at 4 a.m. and I've yet to see a city that reps that hard.
Bro, here's the thing, man. If I have to take a train and then 2, 3, 4 buses to get home, your city sucks.
Oh, don't even get me started on Jacksonville. What a shithole. But I'm sorry, we could go on and on.
Oh, see, this nigga Sensi went personal. Steve literally has been locked down by his family for 2 years, acting like he's allowed to get a sandwich at 2 a.m. But Sensi, here's the big middle finger from you. You know what I can get at 2 a.m. in my rural area? I can get a fucking egg and cheese sandwich because there's literally a fucking deli that's 24 hours from me here. You niggas live in savages lands.
Right. G says we need some bullying and builds characters. Absolutely agree, D. If I was from a city where motherfuckers are paying thousands just to live in a shoebox, I'd be upset too. Bully away, my guy. Bully away. No, I agree. The rent is crazy.
Yeah. The rent is crazy, but you live in a city that's underdeveloped. If you live in a city where your water is questionable, you live in a swamp. Comparatively, you know what I call New York City? Just the city alone, the Empire State. If the nukes get shot off and they're sitting around the white men that you live in fear of, they'd be like, yeah, Baltimore can go. They'd be like, yeah, Cincinnati, we don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah. Cincinnati, Cleveland, all these, Kansas City. What the fuck is a Kansas City? I don't even know. It's not even in Kansas. It's in Missouri.
Yo, your cities are so trash. Your cities are so trash.
Oh my
when
God.
they do the budget federally, they're like, let them starve.
Yo, he's literally talking shit about your budgets, yo.
Yo, figuratively, economically.
Oh my God.
Yo, Harlem, USA. Shout out Harlem. You know what we have over any other black dominated area? We don't have bad filtration. There's no bad water.
Oh, yes, their water is great. Their water is
You
great.
ain't got bad water
Anywhere in the 5 boroughs, you're going to have great ass water. Unlike like Milwaukee, Minnesota, whatever the fuck these places are called. Green Bay.
Yo, hold on. Educational system, right? You know what you get from Harlem, Brooklyn, Staten Island, the boroughs, nigga? Every one of our kids can read at a nationally accepted level.
Yes. New York has a way better education system than other places, and I didn't learn that till I traveled around and saw. It's true. You're right.
Wait. Let me cook some more.
Even our most ghetto motherfuckers can read and write.
Even the motherfucker on the corner who's been drinking all night has a better education.
Yeah, the hobo drinking the 40, the old hobo who's harassing you for change can outread your ass.
Yo, most of you motherfuckers that live in these backwater areas, these backwater areas, when it comes to collateral damage, when America shores up, most certainly your city is the city that are like, okay,
acceptable losses.
They waged an entire war over 2 offenses in America, and it was most certainly New York. I'm sorry. You grew up in a bum ass area. I don't care about your clam chowder or your fucking wings or the Ark or any of that shit, nigga. Nigga, this is New York, nigga. New York, as in comparative to the old York. Is there an old Cincinnati? Is there an old DC or Baltimore, nigga? Get the fuck out of here.
Definitely not.
Get the fuck out of here.
Boney says speakeasies. Hell yeah, we've got a ton of them in New York. Nigga, you can't get a sandwich now.
Nigga,
I can get a sandwich.
Now. I can literally get a sandwich.
Yo, we
right
should film
now.
ourselves getting
But you know what
sandwiches
you
right now.
can't get in your place. You know what can't get where you live? Niggas that can read above a 3rd grade level. That's what you can't get in your fucking shit. You can't get niggas that can fucking read. You can't get niggas that can fucking read. Yo, you got black. Yo, the deficit is crazy.
Oh my god.
You can't get niggas that can read in your fucking state. You can't. You can't. You can't do it.
It's just, dude, we've seen
the apartment projects in NYC. But what we haven't seen in Cincinnati is any project to develop that land beyond the point where it's at.
Yo, and slightly off topic, but I gotta tell this real quick. When Public Friend came to New York to hang out,
Public
and
Friend.
you know how there's now, like, there's water taxis, or not taxis, but really, like, shuttles, whatever. And so we got on there,
Yeah.
and then Public Friend's looking off in the distance, and they see these buildings off of Brooklyn.
Architecture, it's
right, and they say why do those ones have red brick? And I was like, oh, those are projects. And then they go, wait a minute, but they're all red bricked. They can't all be projects. I looked at her and I was like, yes, they can. Those are all projects. Yeah. And it's funny, until you see it from a water angle, you don't realize how big they can get.
Right.
But from being an out of towner, they did not realize how big the projects can get in New York City.
Let me cook for a second, right? let me cook for a second. Mantis, you live in one of the most affluent areas in your area, period, point blank, right?
Yeah. I moved on up. I'm like the Jeffersons, man.
I'm about to drop a bomb right now that is going to be offensive. I live in Port Jervis, New York. All right. I'm about an hour and a half outside of the city. Nigga, I own more land than most of these bum ass niggas in other areas will ever own in their life, and still pay New York state tax. You've been to my house. I own more land than most niggas in all these bum ass cities will ever experience in their entire life. Here's why I cook on other cities, right? You motherfuckers can't even get your kids to read at a level that's acceptable at a national level in black cities. You can't blame that on the white man. You couldn't even get a coalition together. But I was born and raised in Harlem, nigga. Born and raised in Harlem. By the time I was in 3rd grade, I had read the Iliad. I had known about these things in the 3rd grade. When I went to the Midwest, my bro, these niggas were just learning about remedial Spanish. I brought up the Odyssey, the book that precedes the Iliad. They didn't know. But let me make it more personal. I brought up the autobiography of Malcolm X in Chicago in school in the fucking 9th grade, nigga. And most of these niggas have never even read it. These cities are bum ass and they're run by black people. Baltimore, Atlanta, Chicago, Cincinnati. My nigga, here's the thing. Here's why I rep on New York so hard. Allow me to spread and shit on your city. You niggas can't even pronounce enunciation correctly. And then you try to make it about some pro-black shit. You can't even speak the language. Allow me to shit on you a little further. You wouldn't have hip-hop. You wouldn't have anything. You wouldn't have anything. You niggas would be fucking picking your version of cotton if it wasn't
your version.
if it wasn't New York. If it wasn't your version of New York. For all you fucking DC niggas, your biggest claim to fame is that you got a black man into office as the mayor and he smoked crack. That's your claim to fame. Let me cook, nigga. Let me shit on these motherfuckers right now, nigga. Let me shit on these niggas right now. Yeah, you niggas really think y'all can come at New York? Nigga, I'm from the Empire State. Yo, your whole fucking shit is bum. Your whole shit is bum, nigga. Your whole shit is bum.
Since he started, says, I've never seen people so proud to be broke, and the only thing they have to actually hold on to is a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich.
Nigga, I got 6 fucking eggs to hold on to. This nigga lives next to the Clintons. Cincinnati can literally burn, and no one would miss it. No one would miss it. Economically, yeah, when's the last time in a general consensus where you heard American politicians, whether they be white or black, say, if Cincinnati goes down, we're going to be hurting bad? When's the last time you heard that shit? Culturally, economically? Yeah, I'm here to shit on niggas. But not you personally, because I love Cincy and I love Bex. But I'm here to shit on where you're from. I'm here to shit on where you're from.
Yo, you know. Here's what I'm saying. I love you cooking right now. But you know what I'm saying. I think that we need to arrange a situation where they can fight back.
Yo, we had a situation like that called Dope Dynamics. Listen, your man Steve is always willing to fucking go the bar.
Oh, I know you are.
You can't debate facts, right? So if we're going socially, economically, cultural relevance, those are the terms of the topic, right? If you can't meet those terms,
because here's what I'm saying. Not only do I want to hear their defense of other cities, but I want to hear about this whole thing about how blacks were here before.
Says, I've never seen them say that about New York either. Not a human outside of New York would miss y'all. But one of the standards was economically, if New York was to disappear, there would be a huge chasm in the world market. Let us not forget that the Dow Jones and other things are measured. Where, Mantis? Where's the stock market at?
It's in Wall Street in New York.
Wait, no, you said Cincinnati, right?
The stock market. This is international. This is international.
Where's the most? And wait. I'm sorry. Let me cook. Where is the United Nations located? Where is it at?
That would be the east side of New York.
Wait, no, you said Cincinnati, right? Where the most world embassies positioned at? Did you say DC? Did you say Baltimore?
New York. New York.
Yo, I suggest everyone here takes a poli-sci class, just the first year. New York shits on you because we matter, nigga. We matter, nigga. We matter. It's no you since you matter to me. You matter to me and many other people. They
Oh,
mad
look what he
because hip hop
said.
and NYC hasn't been relevant 20 plus years. Okay, well, you set it up. Let me knock it down. No, we're not mad. I'm actually happy that the demise of hip hop lies with the bum ass states like the Midwest.
So Usagi says this, and I actually agree with her. She says, "When shit hits the fan, you'll be the first to go. I'm going to move closer in the middle of the map so I don't get caught up in that radiation." So I do agree with that. That is a huge downside to being a New Yorker. That if there is a nuclear war, we're going to get hit mad times.
So here's what happens when you don't understand megatons and yields for nukes. And I've had to explain this to your dumb ass a couple of times. Mantis, you live
Me? You don't have to explain
Yes.
shit to me, nigga. 'Cause
You
I fucking
live-
know shit.
You fucking live far outside of the yield.
I'm still in the heat zone.
You're not even in the fucking heat zone.
I am in the heat zone. If they hit Times Square, radioactive heat will still
I'm not
be.
gonna say where you live, right? But
Right.
the last time we talked about this,
I'm not safe by any means, man. I need to. Move
I
further.
looked at the fallout. Technically, you were exactly 2.6 miles outside of the fallout. Now, your biggest issue would be about the grid because you're on a different grid than myself. But again, let's look at something right now, objectively, right? Let's not be emotive, right? Because this is usually where people go in this conversation. They start being straw men. And since you and I are two educated men from New York, we understand this. There's no need to be emotive. Let me tell you something right now. If you think that Washington or the power structure that exists in Washington would cease to exist if they nuked Washington, then you might be accused of being a mouth breather, right? Because the first people out would be the people in power. You understand that, right? You understand. You study poli-sci, right? You know, there's a threat of a nuclear strike. They're going to get the president and all. Well, actually, some people might debate that the president would be someone they get out. They're going to get the people in power out before any potential.
Honestly, more importantly, I'm going to say this right now because I'm a whole shadow government guy. The actual people who make decisions are going to be totally fine.
Right.
Even if they get the guy in the White House, the guy in the White House has a boss. He has a group of bosses, and they are safe. They are totally safe.
Right. And I would agree with that. Let me say something right now. There was an entire war response to New York. If wherever Bex or Cincy lives got planes flown into whatever low-rise, non-cultural building.
But planes can't fly that low. Planes can't hit 4-story buildings. That doesn't make any sense.
Hear me out. You're on the same page, right? Some terroristic attack in either of these places, right? We would be having a conversation much akin to Flint, Michigan, where they're explaining why. Well, collateral damage. That's how non-essential these places are. I'm happy to be from New York. Lyrically, we're the best. We shaped the culture of hip-hop.
We invented it,
right?
And then furthermore, maintained it and guarded it
right
for countless years. And it's true, in mainstream circles, there are a bunch of yahoos from the South who are getting a little bit of buzz, but that is just a fad. Let me point that out.
The bum shit. Some people make a very good argument that the bum shit that we're experiencing comes from the South or the Midwest. Now, the bum shit has clearly been able to transcend to other bum areas like Canada. If it wasn't for the bum shit, we might not have a motherfucker like Drake. Now, I do know you enjoy this light-skinned motherfucker in a wheelchair. But the bum shit comes from other areas. In fact, allow me to prove my point. You can go look up the Hot 97 Kiss FM in case you don't know. You're uninitiated in hip hop. Because I know a lot of niggas speak on hip hop, but they don't actually listen to hip hop.
Right.
You go to before Hot 97 was a thing, right? There was Kiss FM. You can actually go and listen to the archives of that and understand that at the point in New York radio, the only thing represented was the talented. We're talking about people like KRS-One, legends.
You had to prove your lyrical fitness to be in the scene. Now just any motherfucker gets let in.
Right. Any motherfucker that can go a humming, huh. That shit didn't start.
I got baking soda. I got baking.
But here's the thing: a lot of New York cats jumped on it, just like a lot of other fucking I want to be marketable idiots. But I'm always proud to be from the state, the city. Fuck it, where the bullshit didn't start. I'm taking shots right now. The best thing to come out of anywhere outside of New York might be the things that are disputed the most as the most hated things in America. Deep dish pizza. Do you like deep dish pizza?
Fuck that shit. I like real New York pizza. Deep dish pizza is some Chicago bullshit.
It's cake. It's
yeah, we motherfuckers
cake,
sucking each other's dicks. Man, I like regular, normal pizza in the founding place of pizza, New York. And I know people are like, it was founded in Italy. Fuck that shit. They fucked it up. We made it better.
Well, I mean, let's just not look at the fact that most liberals, right? Now, this is where we're going to get mad personal. Your girl, Fanny, the special prosecutor against Donald Trump.
Fanny.
Yeah, hear me out. So we got Fanny, right? She's a part of the City Girl elite. Are you up to speed on this?
Keep going.
All right, so you got Fanny, the special prosecutor.
Right,
dealing with the whole situation about getting piped down by some niggas she hired illegally to be her special prosecutor. Then you got the city girl mayor from fucking New Orleans, right?
Right.
Who's also piping down her fucking special security guard after this motherfucker. Wait, I'm sorry. Rest in peace. Her own husband passed away.
Right. Yeah,
and she's piping this motherfucker down using city funds to do that.
Can I say something real quick, though?
Go for it.
And I will say this, and this probably is very reflective of who the Fat Mantis is.
Right.
But if you gain a position of power, what's the point of getting it if you can't bed who you want?
Well, here's the problem. You can bet whoever you want. And here's the problem when it comes to politics that a lot of people of a lower IQ don't understand. You can't say Trump bad, right? And then be hoisted up to a position where you can actually do something about that. And I'm going to say it slow for the people not listening, right? Because you're only going to hear what you want to hear. But if Trump is the antithesis of what you consider evil, and then you are the person appointed to prosecute that person, would you assume that there's some ethical responsibility on your side, considering our judicial system to be above reproach?
Right. And no, I do agree. Like, if I have power, I'm betting who I want. But however, when someone was like, "Hey, Mantis, you ready to prosecute the former president?" I'd be like, I have to recuse myself from this.
Exactly. And you would have
That's
to
a smart
recuse
move.
yourself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're thinking on layers, but we're thinking on layers that most people don't understand. And I'm going to take a shot at California, right? I love you niggas, but fuck all you niggas. Most of the places in California used to be filled with orange farms. You're not a civilization. You're slow on the uptake. Slow on the uptake. Yo, my crazy experience moving outside of New York, moving to Chicago. This is crazy, bro. This is mad crazy. Are you ready for this shit? I had one of my teachers say to a Spanish teacher, "Are you going to teach them how to speak Puerto Rican now?"
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I want you to digest that on many different levels. Right?
Yeah, there's many levels to take that on.
She literally, this woman
Said,
whose
"Are you gonna
race shall
teach
remain
them?"
anonymous said, "Are you going to teach them how to speak Puerto Rican?"
Oh, when he says anonymous, that means she was not white. She was a brown girl, brown or black girl who said that. Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah. And here's another thing, man. You know, since I've been spending so much time in the woke revolutionary YouTube, man. Mantis, can you point to a time in Western civilization, Eastern, maybe even Mesopotamian, where revolutions were not funded by money?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No way.
So would you?
There's always someone backing it. As they said in Rush Hour, at the end of every crime, there's always some white guy waiting to get his cut.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. So, with that said, in the whole of Western and Eastern, and let's say Near Eastern, right? Every revolution that has been led has been funded. Would you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. And a bunch of these hippies think they're like, well, we're powered by the people. I'm like, no, motherfucker. Someone pays for your bullets. Even in Iran Contra.
Right.
The revolutionaries had to pay. They sold drugs to fund their revolution.
Who's paying for the revolution? That's the thing that no one ever wants to deal with. But it's easy to take a shot at capitalism, but someone's got to pay for it, right? And I assume that capital has to come from somewhere, right? Because most grassroots revolution in America would not get off the ground, right? I mean, we tried before, and a lot of you dumb motherfuckers supported BLM, and they took the bag and ran.
And ran with it. And then you thought they were going to score, but they just kept running and ran out of the stadium, and we're all watching. We're like, what? And Cincy, by the way, I want to point out to this right here, where he's saying capitalists who don't care about us or whatever. That's how cities are made. Yeah. Cities are not made by other rappers or DJs or people who are like us. Obviously, cities are left by very rich people and construction crews, right? And so I don't claim to have any connection to these people or love for these people or whatever. All I'm saying is when we talk about infrastructure, New York has the infrastructure. My complaints are rent is high. That's about it. Rent is high. However, you have everything at your fingertips.
Right.
and you have rich cultural energy and art and all these things flowing. So if you are a rapper, if you are a DJ, if you are somebody in the scene, this is the place to be. And then someone's like, well, you know what? I understand it because I want to do it too. Some people are like, well, I want to save money. I'm going to go live in Cleveland. Okay. Go live in Cleveland, but you're not going to get that artistic energy.
Right.
That is in New York.
Right. We just took a whole deuce on most of the East Coast. How do you feel about that?
We're probably gonna get shot tomorrow. I'm gonna be going shopping, getting the groceries, almond milk in hand, and some Philly motherfucker is gonna come out of his car.
Some big beard motherfucker.
Yeah, some big beard motherfucker. Drunk in the middle of the day like a Philadelphian. And he's going to shoot my ass up.
Yo, here's the crazy thing, right? Because I got a lot of smoke for motherfuckers in New York, man. But let me just say this, man. One of the topics we didn't get to tonight, which I'm kind of glad we didn't get to, but I have to put it out, man. Hip hop's last great hope. J. Cole is from North Carolina. Did he move to LA to pursue his hip hop agenda? No, he didn't move there.
He didn't.
To Chicago. No, he didn't move to Chicago. He moved to New York. The precipice. Right? Because he was pursuing the truest form of hip hop. Right? Jay Electronica, who's a huge critic of New York, has actually got at New York niggas for using down south terms. But he didn't do that from down south. You know what Drake Electronica moved to?
Where?
New York. Right? The bum nigga that the ballerina that everyone loves so much for being a gangster, Tupac. You know where he got his start? New York.
Oh, was not expecting that one.
New York. New York.
Yeah, so you know what it is? I want a future episode where we talk to Bex and Cincy Star about not only cities, but also to other shit.
Comparatively, you've had to have lived in other cities. So I've lived in Chicago, LA, New York. I've spent too much time in Philadelphia, Baltimore, DC, Cleveland, unfortunately. Like, I'd be able to compare these things, man. I'd be able to compare these things. That's what I'm saying. Let me just jump out the window for the last 20 minutes, like 5 minutes, man. Yo, fuck these other places. Because you know what I learned when I was living in Chicago?
Okay, go for it.
When I was living in Chicago, you know what they said? They said, fuck New York. You know why I don't feel bad about repping New York? Because when I lived in LA, they were like, yo, fuck New York. And I was like, well, why are you saying this, man? And then even in lockup, I was like, your city's trash. What are you mad about? Don't get mad. In an oppressive system, if you wouldn't go that route, well, New York is one of the most liberal cities, right? It's one of the most liberal cities in America. If you're going that route, you're going to do much better in New York than you are in the Midwest. Fuck your city.
This is an amazing rant from this dude. We need to record this. We need to make sure that the world hears this.
Oh, wait. I got to deal with Berlin said right now. NY dudes come to Florida and get checked by Opalapa. Berlin, your argument was the one I was waiting for specifically. As a red pillar, as an anti-immigrationist, you should not have said that out loud. Most of those dudes from Opalaka, before they check any NY nigga, they check you niggas. They got all you motherfuckers in lock. Period, point blank. Right? As a red pillar, you should definitely not mention Opalaka because most of those dudes are from Haiti. Well, yeah, they're all from Haiti. As
Boom. Represent.
As a red pillar, they go stark in contrast against everything you believe. They're violent immigrants that are attacking Americans. Berlin, you should jump off that argumentation right now.
Boom. Drop that mic.
I'm not red pill. What you mean? Holy shit.
Really?
So liberal,
Berlin, are you serious right now?
most of your budget, in fact, most of our budget is not allocated to it. Eric Adams is not doing as bad in the situation in a Midwestern sense. In fact, the immigration situation is highly more contentious in Chicago than it is in New York.
It's wait, whoa. Here's where I'm not gonna have your back. It is very contentious in New York.
It's contentious in New York, but do you know that in Chicago, which is the Midwestern state, not East Coast,
Right.
they're actually going through with the things that they're planning. As of today, which is what, March 4th, now going to March 5th, no one that is immigrant status has received that stipend. But in the Midwest, at the deficit of black people, if you're following that worldview, they are receiving that stipend. And Chicago is now the true sanctuary state. Just throwing it out there, man. Just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there.
This has been another insane episode of Fanboy Modeling School. Thank you guys all for participating. I've been having an amazing time. How are you, my man?
I've been having a great time. I just want to make sure I land this right. Fuck Philly, fuck DC, fuck Cincinnati, fuck Cleveland, fuck LA. You niggas suck.
It sounds like you've got that squared away, brother.
Did I say it correctly?
Oh, you did. Do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, you know you can find me, man. Mic Check Thursdays and Sundays over on Riz Radio Live through season 5. You can catch the recap for the full interviews on Hold Up TV on any podcasting platform that you're on. And in case I didn't say it, the state you grew up in, I feel bad for you. We'll set up a GoFundMe for you here at Fanboy Modeling School, but we'll keep the money because you would know what to do with it anyway.
You Neanderthals from the lesser cities are a bunch of animals. Remember, check us out on Live 365 and increasing the amount of radio apps that are going to happen. By probably next week, we're going to probably be on 10 different radio apps. But we are Riz Radio. Check us out. I am every weekday at noon to 4 p.m. And my man Steve is Thursdays and Sundays at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Right.
That's because he's got some salacious shit going on there. But I am the Fat Mantis. I'm having an amazing time. Love you all, even if you're from Philly. If you're from Philly or DC, I forgive you for being inferior. But this is the Fanboy Modeling School. Checking out. Love you all. Until next time, ciao for now, bitches.
The D is down and Y is up. Your mother lied to you.